Hello and welcome, it's Wes here, and today we're going to be doing If You're Not Talking With Them. Who knows, for some of you that's a good thing. And for others of you, you wish for the fonder memories you had with this person. For this video, it's about an ex-partner. So if you don't have one, then this may not be your cup of tea, alright? But don't worry, there are lots of great readers on YouTube, so there's really something for everyone out there. Anyways, you can find the timestamps for this video, as always, in the comment section down below. Just look for my name, it'll be highlighted and pinned. Show more info, you'll see all the blue links there to go to whatever zodiac sign you, the viewer, wants to watch. If you need to get a hold of me, you can get my email in the description box of this video. It's that little drop down tab of the video, you'll see it there. If you need to get a hold of me for a reading, or you have any questions or feedback or anything else. Alright. As I say in every video, thank you for the people that keep returning to my channel. There's a couple people that have watched me over the years, so thank you. You know who you are. Alright, and just anyone in general that, throws a like from time to time or leaves a comment. Alright, do appreciate you. And please remember, folks, with all tarot readers and any type of tarot reading you see on YouTube, if it doesn't make sense to you, don't make it apply. Alright? That's life. Sometimes things just don't apply to your situation. This video is generally geared towards someone that's an ex-partner that you haven't really had much contact with. It could be like an on and off thing, or if it's at a distance, alright? But if this person has been out of your life for like 2 years at this point, or they're married or something like that, unlikely this reading is going to apply to you. But hey, it's a free country. You do whatever the hell you want to do. Alright? Let's go with Aries. What we got here? Aries. Hope all of you are doing great. Tell me about the person our Aries are not talking to. Who is this person? Nothing? It just says nothing. This deck has just been sucking lately. I don't know what it is. It's been like uncooperative. Put that here. Let's try the Banana Tarot. Tell me about the person our Aries are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? Okay, it says Death reversed. So it's suggestive of a person that you've probably had more than one interaction with. But Death reversed can probably, there's a lot of things can really tell us, but if I had to take a gander, it's talking about things that are unresolved, or a situation that has a lot of baggage with it. Alright? Like, certain relationships come to a conclusion and both feel like, both people mutually feel like it's done, we're good, didn't work out, whatever. Maybe you're kind of friends and you just move on with life. And then there's those other relationships that just have those lingering problems that for whatever reason just don't want to really go away, and you don't know why this person's still there, but you're still participating in it. It could be something like this, Tell us about this unresolved situation. How does this person feel towards Aries? How do they feel? Person that Aries is not talking about. So it says the Eight of Wands is horizontal here. This person feels things stop and go with you. 1 minute, it seems like it's restarting, or potentially you guys are talking and then it stops. And that would imply suddenly, too. How do they feel? Very fitting with the Death reversed energy. Nothing? Oh, really having to work for these cards today. So we have Seven of Pentacles. Why do they feel that towards Aries? The person that's not talking with Aries. Seven of Pentacles. So we had the Three of Wands here. It's also kind of came out horizontal, so I'll just take it like that. So this is probably suggesting a person that is contemplating what works and what doesn't when it comes to you, Aries. All right. The way that they feel about the situation is, again, it's a stop and go situation. So this is most likely talking about an Aries that has that kind of dynamic where for some reason you guys talk with each other. Maybe you say hey, they say hey back, and you have a little bit of a catch up or whatever like that. Maybe you go out to coffee, you do something. For some of you, it's temporary, and then it fizzles out. Either the flame dies out, or there's an argument or a fight, or something just stops it. Could be one of those head scratcher situations. I'm like, I don't know why this keeps happening. It just does. How does this person see Aries? It says High Priestess. So this person feels that a lot of times you don't really reveal much, or you keep to yourself. The High Priestess is a nice card, but in this context, it would probably suggest an Aries that just maybe you feel you're being transparent, but this person may feel that at times you're, I don't know, you keep to yourself, or you don't want to say too much. All right, or maybe it could even just suggest you're mysterious. In other words, you might be a talker, but you're one of those annoying individuals that just doesn't really want to get to the heart of the point. I'm just kidding. I'm not pointing it at you, but I have this pet peeve when I talk to people, and I come across, not a lot, but I mean from time to time, I'm the type of person I just am like, get to the point. I need to know. Just tell me what you're really thinking, or what you need to know. You get some people that kind of want to drag it out. Like, they won't tell you exactly how they feel about something, or they won't truly tell you what they're wanting. You have to drag it out of them, and I can't stand it. I can't. All right. This person may, I don't know if it's negative the way I'm saying like that, Aries, but it's possible this person feels like they have to, like it's a hot and cold kind of thing where I have to figure out if Aries is hot to this or cold to this. Am I getting warmer? Maybe you feel you have to be like that because this person has pissed you off or annoyed you so much in the past that now you can't trust them. What can Aries expect from this person? Okay, it says Seven of Swords reversed. Why would Aries expect that? Why would Aries expect the Seven of Swords reversed? Okay. This person may make an appearance to you, Aries. And you know what? Let me just give my final opinion on this. Okay. Overall, what this is suggesting is a person of some sort, as I said to you, potentially, high chance, has some sort of baggage that has never been resolved. All right. It just didn't have that climactic end that really said it was done. All right. This person, quite possibly with this kind of energy, is suggesting that they actually probably thought that this connection or some sort of interaction was going to actually either continue or it was going to improve. My assumption is it never did. All right. Whatever the case is, the positive, it does suggest that this person's evaluating things. All right. And it comes from the Seven of Pentacles energy because that card directly does cause a person to look at what they're actually getting out of something and whether it's good or it's bad. Translation, they're looking at what problems existed or did occur or have been going on and trying to avoid them. Because, I mean, you want to obviously good results, right? This person seems to be more fixated around why it stops and why it stalls or why there's sometimes periods where there's just no communication, all right? How exactly important that is to them, who knows? But it's in the energy, so we're just reading it that way. All right. This person sees you as mysterious. This person thinks you don't really express yourself too much to them or tell them what you're really wanting or what's really on your mind. And maybe at times you do kind of tell them, but then they just overlook it. I don't know. All right. And what you can expect from this person is suggesting a potential that this person will reveal themselves to you in a very generous way. If this person does, and this is an if, If they do come around, it'll probably be sudden, and you can probably expect them to be in a charming energy. All right. The intention is to probably push this up to engage in communication with you. Where they go from there, I don't know. Could it just fizzle out like last time? Maybe. That's what I got for you, Aries. Good luck to you. Bye-bye now. Alright, let's go to Taurus. Oh, let me shuffle here, actually. Get the shuffle. The truffle shuffle. Taurus, tell me about the person our Taurus are not talking to. Who is this person? Card comes out. So we have the Two of Swords here. So without overreading this card, it is suggesting somebody that is just not sure about you. You make them not sure. The Two of Swords in the tarot is kind of a good and a bad card. But what it does tell us, without reading too much into it, is that when somebody is using their logical side of their brain, they're trying to weigh out options on something that's, generally speaking, negative and something that's positive. Now, throwing you into that equation, it probably suggests they're looking at what does work and what doesn't work. So, if I had to take a guess without us doing anything more in this reading, it's going to be something around to come back around and make an appearance, or not to come around. Or they're weighing out how something, I don't know, went the last time. Tell us about this person that's on the fence towards Taurus. Also this energy here, Taurus. Another little problem with it is it can talk about blocked emotions or just somebody that is in a deadlock. So they may actually not have much of an opinion towards you because perhaps they couldn't, I swear to God, it feels like it's blurred, but maybe it's not. They may just be like, there may be some issue or problem that occurred between you and them or came to some weird kind of limbo and they don't know what to do with it. So instead of making a decision, they're just choosing not to make a decision. So it's kind of like a blocked, I wouldn't say it's blocked emotions, but, you know, a deadlock. You get what I'm saying. All right, tell us about this person that's potentially deadlocked towards Taurus in their mind. How do they feel towards Taurus? How do they feel? We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. I'm going to take that as a top energy. Card comes out. The Empress. This is favorable to you. And what else? How else do they feel? Ten of Swords. Well, that's a bummer. Why is the Ten of Swords here in their feelings? Well, whoever this person is, Taurus, is somebody that has a bit of a bipolar energy going towards you. It is suggestive, as I said, they're deadlocked or in some sort of decision. When I just said a good and a bad kind of scenario, this immediately has a good and a bad scenario going on in their feelings. On the one hand, it does imply that there are qualities about you or something that they see is either A, motherly, B, is good with kids or family or anything around that, all right? If you're a male watching, then it's probably suggesting you're masculine traits that are good with that kind of stuff, all right? Oftentimes in any type of nuclear family dynamic, it's suggesting of security, they feel safe, or they could see a potential future with you long term. What qualities they're picking out about you, who knows, all right? But there's something there that's suggesting long-term potential, all right? That's the good. And also it can suggest for some of you if you have kids involved, all right? You know, but I would assume that whoever this person is has some sort of maturity and is not a young person. They could be in their 30s, 40s, or 50s, all right, or well, probably not their 60s, but around this age bracket, right? Um, the Ten of Swords, though, is going to Seven of Swords. This is negative because it's talking about that there's been some sort of bad ending here, all right? Ten of Swords is pretty much a nightmarish card in a lot of cases because despite whatever fluff some taroters put on it, it's supposed to be a negative card. Or it can talk about painful endings, bad endings, betrayal, cheating, affairs, but it's unlikely that it's really talking so much about that, kind of like the heavy stuff. It's more talking about the way this person felt the ending was, or how that there's some side of this connection that didn't end well. All right. The Seven of Wands can also talk about defensive energy, like maybe this person feels they have to defend themselves or kind of justify stuff. For some of you are going to say like, oh yeah, well, you know, they're useless, you know what, whatever. Okay, well, I don't know. You know, it is what it is with however the cards show it, but this person essentially sees good and bad, right? You know, the Ten of Swords, though, is quite negative, though we can't really ignore that. So just even if they see a lot of good qualities in you, there's got to be some issue here that has popped up or came up where they felt it just wasn't good. And it's not to say that it's blaming you. It's just saying they've seen something that, like, in the situation that happened that just was not. It just wasn't good, right? I'm going to King of Wands there. How does this person see Taurus? Person that's not talking Taurus. So Seven of Swords. So this person sees you avoiding them, potentially, or you're just very reclusive or mysterious to them. All right. Another way I want to read this Ten of Swords, and I just want to touch back here real quick here, is that this person, it's also possible I could read this, that this person feels that you feel pissed off or defensive towards them. All right. It really depends. You would know the answer to that, Taurus, on how it happened. For some of you, it's you're mad at them for doing something, and for others of you, it's just a mutual thing where you guys had problems. All right. So if this person did something negative, really negative to you, then maybe they feel that you are somebody that's apprehensive and pissed off at them. But whatever the case, they see you as somebody that's either avoiding them, and you may not deliberately be doing that, but they potentially just see that you kind of don't reveal much to them, or you're mysterious to them. All right. They also may feel that even if they have contact with you, it's hard to know where you're going with things. What can Taurus expect from this person? Six of Swords? What does that mean for Taurus? The Six of Swords with this person? Death reversed. Well, How does that happen? How does the Six of Swords and Death reverse happen? If it does happen, how would it happen? Ace of Swords. Somehow, alright, I was hesitant to believe what it's saying here, but for certain Taurus, it's suggesting that somehow there could be a reappearance from this person, or some sort of communication, right? Ace of Swords is a great card to do that with, all right? Originally, it was saying Six of Swords. It's a transitioning energy. I suppose you could look at it as you and them right there. This can talk about moving things to calmer waters, essentially. If there was any kind of rockiness or issues, there's more cooperation with this card. You can clearly see they're cooperating with each other. I mean, in plain English. And there's the little one over there. I'm just kidding. It's like, I was only gone for a year. How do you have a child already? Been busy. Death reverse can talk about this is a re-emergence of a former situation. Alright. What is my overall opinion of this reading, Taurus? This is a person that's on the... This is a person that has experienced the full magic with you before. But the problem is that while there was a lot of good, there was some problems or issues. Again, this is very similar to Aries reading. Alright. The death reverse is immediately not good here. It's again similar to Aries reading because it's telling us that there's still certain issues or problems or bumps in the road that probably have not been resolved and aren't going to get resolved. But this person seems to be aware of that. But irregardless, perhaps the mystery of you is alluring to them. I don't know. Alright. There's clearly, in my opinion, no reason why this person should really be coming back around. But if they were, it's because of this. There's something they see in you that is alluring to them. Alright? Something you do. Okay? Maybe it's how you look. Maybe it's the way you butter your bread. I don't know. Whatever the case is, this person can't live without you, so it would suggest from the tarot that at some point there'll be a break in silence. I don't personally think that they're going to do it themselves. It'll be somehow, some way, the universe will just make something happen. Alright? For some of you. From there, it is suggesting some type of resolution or things kind of get back on to a balanced approach where you may have a temporary interaction with them. Even though I say move things to calmer waters, that is not always guaranteed because the reality is that for some of you may try to re-seek a connection, and for others of you it'll just be kind of like a let's just see where it goes kind of thing. Alright? The death reverse, as I said in summary, probably implies it's going back, it's just essentially reheating a meal you've already enjoyed. Alright? Whether something's going to change, I don't know. Good luck to you, Taurus. That's what I got. Must be pretty good leftovers, if you ask me. I could never say no to my ex's leftovers. I guess if your ex is Chinese, then you're having leftover Chinese. Alright. Gemini, how are you doing? We have the Page of Wands and who this person might be. I didn't even ask the question and it came out, so I'm just assuming that's what it's supposed to be. This is positive. It can talk about somebody that is interested in potentially reaching out to you. Alright? Not a guarantee. But I'm sure in modern day times, I know this is a tomb for those. That gets, I'm going to say it's a TV screen. They're like, I always know there's going to be that one person that has to quickly type in the comments. It's actually, it's not a TV screen, Les. It's a tomb, just so you know. Just wanted to let you know. Okay, thank you. Thanks for pointing that out. Alright. So this could be suggesting them looking at a screen. Should I message Gemini or should I not? I just don't know. Probably looking at your came across your Tinder profile. Do I really want them on the market? I don't know. Let's get. Alright. I think this is contemplation energy. Tell me about this person that may be contemplating reaching out to Gemini. How do they feel towards Gemini? We have a King of Swords here. Hello? Just kidding. We'll take that as a top energy, a crowning energy. How does this person that wants to potentially reach out to Gemini, how do they feel towards Gemini? So we have the Four of Pentacles here, horizontal. How else do they feel? Hangman reversed. Well, that energy's not so good. It's not bad, but it's not great either. Because basically what that's saying there, Gemini, is this person really doesn't know if the situation has left the building. Has the ship sailed? Whatever the case is, this person has been in some sort of blank period, unsureness, or they've been deadlocked in some type of thought, right? The problem with the Hangman energy is that it's an energy that oftentimes talks about a person becoming stuck in a limbo kind of state. So how does that happen? That can happen when a person is unable to get perspective on something. If there's an issue or a problem that's occurring, all right, they can't make a decision around it, or they can't really understand the situation. It can sometimes just start festering in a limbo state where the mind hasn't really drawn a conclusion on what to think about it. All right? This can happen in situations where there's been problems or issues or things that this person just does not quite understand about you, or why you do what you do, or why it works out the way it is. Maybe it just doesn't make sense to them and they want it to make sense in their way. That's the key there. Not in your they don't want your explanation, they want their explanation to make sense. All right? A lot of people are like, let me go and tell them how it is. I'm like, they don't want you to tell them how it is. They want to draw their own conclusion. Right? That's what's going to satisfy them. So, the Four of Pentacles here, this can talk about, it can potentially talk about if a situation, if it's worth still trying to hold on to it or not to. All right? The reversal can directly just talk about just saying, it's time to let it go. All right, but the upright can tell us a person that still could be possessive or wants to hold on to it. All right, this could be given right next to this Hangman energy. It could be suggestive that this person quite hasn't let go of the situation. All right, how does this person see Gemini? Person that's just unsure on what to do about Gemini. Says Page of Swords. Why do they see Gemini's Page of Swords? King of Pentacles. This person may just feel that you're potentially looking for other options. Gemini. It's the only thing I can draw off of that. The Page is a curious card, so it does talk about somebody that oftentimes is just investigating or looking for stable situations. This person, with the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles is obviously A, a family card. B, somebody that does well with money or finance. C, is reliable, honest, trustworthy. All right? If I have to take a guess, this person is probably assuming you're looking for something like that. Translation, it's not them. So if we just remove all of that fluff explanation, it's probably just suggesting this person seeing, they may get the impression that you're just searching for someone that's probably aligned to what you're looking for, because evidently it wasn't them. You might have even told them, Gemini, that, you know, you just ain't meeting the quota of what I'm looking for. You know, you don't do this, you don't do that, you treated me this way and that's not going to work. I don't like your work performance, or you're not reliable, and then you do this that I don't like. Your communication sucks. I don't know, it could be a lot of things. What can Gemini expect from this person? Says the Emperor. Okay. Why can Gemini expect that? We'll have Ace of Wands, so I'm going to take that too. We have Hermit, you want to take that as well. Why would Gemini... Why is this person going to be in the Emperor energy? Why are they going to be in the Emperor energy? says 10 of Pentacles. This isn't really clear to me, Gemini, what it's trying to say. What does that mean for Gemini? It's showing a very positive, if I had to take a guess without even going into this any further, this person, if I'm right, that they think you're looking for something like this, high possibility this person will try and mimic that or give that impression that, you know, it turns out, I don't know if you've noticed, but I actually have a lot of those qualities myself. You know, I just happened to bring a treasure chest in the front seat of the car. I wasn't trying to get you to notice. I was delivering it to the bank, you know. You know, I know last time you kind of said I wasn't doing so well money-wise. Well, you know, just gonna go, I guess, spend it, you know. I don't know if you wanted to come. Yeah, that's okay. If you, I mean, you probably got people, you know. I'm just kidding. I'd just be like, yeah, give me the money. I mean, no, love, romance. Oh God. All right. What does the Emperor and Ten of Pentacles mean for Gemini? Oh, the Magician. Some of you may be interested. It says, you know, here's the thing with the Magician coming out. That's a really important card to get, because this, why I pulled this is because the timing of this is suggestive that this person's seeking an opportunity of some sort. All right, a spark with this Ace of Wands. The one thing about the Ace of Wands is it is an injection, an adrenaline shot. It is something that is either going to start something or it's not. All right, it is a kick up the ass. It is something to try and ignite a flame that has been extinguished. All right, evidently it suggests this person's had to think about it. All right, as I said earlier, if this is right, this person suspects that you are looking for certain qualities. All right. They may try to give the appearance that they have something like that going on too. All right. There's only one possible reason somebody would do that, and it is simply just to potentially get your attention. All right. It's suggested from your side that you would actually probably be interested. That the Magician can talk about things that were once not possible to you. Either you thought it was a lost cause, now becoming possible. You know, it's like, again, somebody that was once broke, that's no longer broke. Somebody that was, I don't know, always bouncing around all the time, and now they're suddenly stable. I don't know. It could be a change like that. So for certain Geminis out there, you may see a potential opportunity arise. Now, in summary, what does this mean, Gemini? We have a person here that it's suggested in the tarot. We've got this Page of Wands, and we have this Ace of Wands here. This is a person that wants to potentially come around. All right, and I think there's only one purpose, and one purpose only, that they would do so. It is, as I said, to potentially put a jolt into the situation. And I honestly think the only reason they'd be doing that is just, it's like a dead heart. It's either it's going to start beating again, or it's not. All right. I think this person kind of does vacillate between the idea that this is just a done cook situation. It's probably not going to come back. But there's also that possibility that maybe, just maybe they're wrong and things will turn around. All right. This is only going to really apply to certain Geminis that potentially still have some chemistry with this person. All right. If you just feel like this person's a complete lost cause, then this reading part ain't going to apply to you. All right. I think this person's best attempt, or at least how it's shown in the tarot, is that they'll come with appealing qualities that I think they know you want, or they know that you're looking for. All right. And the only reason they're doing that is because if they don't, then you're not going to be interested. All right. It could be a good faith effort on their part, trying to just, again, it's either going to work or it's not. All right. How could I see this playing out in real life? You might get somebody that just come out of the blue. Maybe you might need a little bit of spark from the universe. All right. If this person does come around, in my opinion, it will be a one-time shot, and they're either going to perform or they're not. All right. You're going to like the performance or you're going to boo it. All right. If it fails, I think this person will pretty much evaporate as fast as they came. All right. And for others of you, I don't know. It's really going to depend also on your reaction towards them. And that's an if they even come around. All right. Good luck to you, Gemini. Good luck. This, for some of you, it might be a blessing. For others of you, it's probably just a curse. Who knows? Cancer. Tell me about the person our cancers are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know? What can I know? And what can you know? It says the Emperor reversed. Bummer. This may be a person, Cancer, that just hasn't really performed quite well in life. Or is potentially unstable in a lot of ways. For others of you, and this is probably a small portion of the Cancers out there, this can suggest a former father figure, or not a father figure, a baby daddy or a husband of some sort. For some of you, it could be a divorced partner. All right. Clarify the Emperor reverse. Why is this person's... We have 5 of Wands here. I'm going to take that. This could be a person you had a lot of conflict with, Cancer. You fight with them. You fight with them. I'm right, you're wrong. Finger pointing. All right. Now, the lighter side of this is it's talking about, for others of you where there wasn't severe conflict, it can just also talk about egos, where both of you had competitive personalities. All right. This can be for alpha females, alpha males that, you know, like, you know, we call them power couples, but sometimes those, you know, when it comes to those situations, they either work really well, or when they don't, or they run into hiccup, they can become like really chaotic and problematic. All right, you know, because you got two dominant people trying to fight for, you know, that won't take any shit type thing. So this could be something where there was friction that developed. You didn't like one thing that they were doing, and then it turned into another. Went from loving to each other to now we can't stand each other. Tell us about this person that Cancer had a lot of friction with. Who would have guessed? A Cancer being involved in a situation of friction? I mean, you know, throughout the years, without question, hands down, the one sign that is most prevalent to any type of dramatic or problematic reading, it's Cancer. Without question. There is no other sign but that sign. It's you. It's your sign. Always in some situation. Always. Tell us about this person that Cancer had some sort of friction with. How does this person feel towards Cancer? 10 of Wands reversed? Wow. This can suggest beating a dead horse. How do they feel? So we have strength came out like that, but I'm going to take it upright. All right. Tell us about strength. Why is that here? Towards Cancer. Death reversed. Whoever this person is, I can immediately tell this is a frequent flyer. Somebody that you have had an on and off thing that has... I'm almost 100% on this for this particular reading. It has to be somebody that you dated, you had a relationship with, You definitely had some type of strong emotional bond. Marriage could have been a thing here, long-term relationship. And this is a person that over time, it just, for whatever reason, friction started, argument started, or something like that. It could have led to divorce, and for some of you, and for others of you, it just led to a slow and bad ending to a relationship. All right, what followed with this energy, again, high suggestion that after it ended, it didn't just end. It probably went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, the death reverse has made an appearance in other readings so far, and it's suggesting that there's things that, again, have not been resolved. All right. It's like the building burned, but we're still looking at that building that burned, asking questions and why it happened. All right, the Ten of Wands reversed here is not good because it could talk about exhaustion, a situation that has been going on for a long time. All right. Now, just because even for some of you, even in situations where you haven't had contact with this person, as far as the laws of karma, if something is still kind of lingering, it just goes on and on and on in the background, even though you guys are not directly get it. Okay? It's like an unresolved itch. It can be a bit of a problem because the universe will bring those situations back and try to resolve it. Have a conclusion. So this person, in my opinion, feels kind of burnt out about this situation. All right, their attitude is not so good. How do they see Cancer? This person that seems burnt out towards Cancer. We have Ace of Cups reversed. This person feels that there's no romantic opportunity when it comes to you. All right. Despite all this negative energy, Cancer, there's only one reason I can guarantee you right now that would even be getting this reading is because this person still wants to come back around. All right. This person is most certainly probably frustrated that things are not going how it should. All right. This person probably doesn't want to deal with this. If they had their way, I would just get rid of it. All right. And this would go away as well, and you would just turn a new leaf and have a different attitude towards them. This could be a situation where it's a Cancer that already has entrenched views or feelings towards this person. In other words, I know exactly how I feel towards you. So that can be a problem because for somebody that's still not over a situation, they can see it as a roadblock. You won't open up to them. Now, it's appearing like that. The Ace of Cups reversed is also suggestive of a cold heart. This person feels that you're just not even willing to give them a shot. What is this person wanting from Cancer if they had their way? So it says the Chariot, Cancer energy. This person wants to work through things and overcome obstacles. Again, that's probably not going to happen because this person's attitude is that it's a waste of time. Trying to work with you is impossible. How does Cancer see this person that is frustrated at Cancer? Come on, So we have a Hierophant reversed. And how else does Cancer see this person they have conflict with? It says the Magician reversed. It won't work. The Hierophant reverse can talk about negative things here because it can talk about a failed marriage, right? It can also talk about estranged differences. In other words, you and them have different priorities, all right? You don't get along. Perhaps they want certain things to be a certain way, and you're like, dude, that's not what I'm just not about that anymore. Maybe 10 years ago you were, but not right now. And the Magician reverse can also talk about, a concern that it wouldn't work or the means to make it work. It's just not there. All right. So, according to what it's saying here, their assessment of you is correct. All right. Now again, the tarot doesn't speak for you, Cancer. That's what it's suggesting in the Cancer collective energy. All right, implying that a good portion of you will probably align with that. Who knows though? Kind of also depends on who it's applying to, right? What can Cancer expect from this person? It says the Sun reversed. Why does it expect that? Why is the Sun reversed going on? Six of Cups reversed.
What does it mean for Cancer? That's all I care about. God. So 3 of Cups, 10 of Swords reversed. Tell us more then about the 6 of Cups reversed. So what does it mean for you? It's not good, whatever this is. Again, it's showing like a very pessimistic energy. It's just showing like a loss and moving on. Why is the Sun reverse going on? We do have this Hermit here. Actually, I might take that. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I'm going to have Ace of Wands here reversed. No, tell me about the 6 of Cups reversed. That's the one I wanted to know. So we have 9 of Cups reversed. Something that didn't work again. And what you can expect, this, in my opinion, Cancer, is not very clear here. It's basically saying something around being in the dark, alright? And then it's coming to something in the past that didn't work. It suggests this person's in like a thought, thinking kind of energy of some sort. Alright, what it means for you is, again, 3 of Cups reversed is, it's talking about a situation that failed. It's not a positive outcome. Alright, you can talk about bad times, disconnection with people, again, plans falling through, disconnections, discontentment. Alright, the 10 of Swords reversed is kind of not the worst. It just talks about a situation that was probably quite brutal at one point, but it's over. Alright, so the worst is over. I don't think we're going to find a very satisfactory conclusion to this reading. My overall opinion here, Cancer, is that, as I said, in summary, this is a person you've had some... It would be for a Cancer that's had a lot of history with this person. Alright? This person seems to be aware of all the issues and the problems that have happened between you and them. Alright? But in another world, they still want it to work. The problem is that they don't seem to think, or at least believe, that it's possible, because they're interpreting that your energy towards them is just not congruent with something that's going to be able to start a connection again. Alright? The biggest problem that this person's kind of looking at the Cancer is that they feel that your heart's shut off to them, or you're not interested in giving them a shot. And even if you did give them another shot, they kind of believe that, like, I think in some ways that you're not willing to work on the problems. But a lot of you are going to counter this and say that actually I am, it's them. Alright? Once again, you know what that's going to lead to? It's going to lead to this. What the tarot already predicted. That it's 2 people that can't figure out how to make something work. Because a Cancer will see that their thinking is ridiculous, and this person will think that a Cancer's thinking is ridiculous. Alright? So they may have a plan that they want to do, or a way to do it, but it's just a Cancer that doesn't quite agree with that plan, or you don't really want to do it like that. Alright? Who knows how that really looks in real life. Alright? Whatever the case is, what you can expect, it's not really predicting much here. Alright? It's still showing a kind of a limbo period. Alright? There is a bit of a transition energy, but it's mostly pessimistic. Alright? The only reason why I can think we're getting this reading is because this person is still manifesting this energy indirectly, because they're thinking about it. It's still in their mind. Alright? This could be like a deadlock situation. I don't think this person knows how to resolve it, and I don't think you care enough to resolve it. Alright? That's all I got for you, Cancer. Sorry, I wish it had a better conclusion, but I don't know. I don't know where that's going or where life's going to take that. Alright. Scorpio, no, Leo. Alright. Well, my lions and tigers are doing well. Alright, tell me about the person our Leos are not talking with. Who is this person and what can we know about them? It says temperance reversed. Alright, this is a person that you can't get along with for whatever reason. You always find that you're... I would assume that it's not always completely in balance. It could be a person that at times you just synergize really well with, but the temperance reverse is talking about some sort of something about you and them that just doesn't work. Alright? Could be a singular issue or it could be multiple issues. I'm not sure. Alright? Something could be, it could be also a singular issue that's disrupting the balance. I'm not sure. Tell us about this person that Leo has disharmony with or can't get along with. How do they feel towards Leo? So we have death. Six of Swords. This person wants to immediately, is wanting to get back with you. Let me see how I see you. How does this person see Leo? It says Seven of Pentacles. Why do they see Leo like that? Actually, we don't even need a card for that. Alright. This has got to be a person here, Leo, that my assumption is, as I said earlier, it's somebody you've had some sort of... there's something that's not working between you and them. Alright? Generally speaking, if they're an ex, there's probably a lot of reasons for that. Alright? It doesn't have to be a laundry list of reasons. It could just be one or two little problems that keep coming back that kind of made things, like turned you off to them or just ruined the situation. Alright? Their feelings towards you is that this person does see that this is a situation that has resolved, it's closed, it's ended. But the positive is that the death is upright, suggesting that they see potential for resolution or something that could start or germinate into something else. All right. The Six of Swords is a nice energy because it does also blend with the death here very well, in that it can talk about a person that's pushing, would like to push something towards I don't know, just more stable ground. All right. Why would somebody want to waste their time doing that? It's probably to see if something can maybe go somewhere again. Alright. I don't think this is a person that probably has high expectations that will, but they are optimistic enough that there's potential that maybe, you know, it could rekindle to something. But it's not obviously clear if their intention is... I mean, I'm assuming their intention is probably a relationship, but... it could just be trying to test the water and see what they can get out of it. I don't know. You know, obviously it's going to depend on how receptive you are to them. Alright, Seven of Pentacles is good. This can just talk about they see you as doing well or you're just doing your own thing. Alright. It is also part of the Pentacles energy, so a lot of you could be just working or managing your finances, you know, planning stuff, doing your life. Alright, pretty much any type of self-improvement goes with this card. Alright, it is somebody that is progressing. For some of you, maybe that's weight loss. You had recent weight loss. For others of you, you've got a new job, new source of income, your living situation's changed. Any of those things could apply here. Anything that basically suggests I'm doing well, I'm doing better than before. Okay. What is this person's overall energy? The person that's not talking with Leo. What is their overall energy towards Leo? What is the Knight here? Jesus, I'm going to take that almost. Yeah, I'm going to take that. I mean, the odds of that coming out. If this person wants to come towards Leo, what's stopping them? Why not just come towards Leo then? So it says the Two of Pentacles horizontal. So that could be a bit of a wrench because the Two of Pentacles, so it being horizontal would probably tell us that this person's unsure whether things are stable or it's not stable. All right. If I'm reading it like that, then it's probably suggestive that this person's assuming, and I just want to say assuming that there's a potential that it could either go good or it could go bad. All right. The only thing I was like thinking in my head was like, well, how bad would it have been last time? If somebody's contemplating that, it must have been, you know, there must have been something that would have been negative enough for them to hold back a little bit. Like, maybe I better really assess this first. You know, because generally where I'm going with this is that if a situation really wasn't that big of a deal, most people they'll just, you know, just like YOLO it. Let's just see where it goes. But if somebody's pausing like that, it's because they're doing it for a reason. They know that there's a potential to step on a landmine, or it's gonna, you know, they're gonna cross the stream and it's gonna be gumdrops and rainbows. The problem is that if you step on a landmine, it's generally a permanent outcome. What can Leo expect from this person? So we have the Six of Pentacles. So here's my overall opinion here. In summary, this is a person that I pretty much said before. It's probably was a situation you invested time with, or a person you invested a lot of time with. I'm quite certain this person knows a lot about you, at least how you operate, how you act, what what pisses you off and what doesn't, what makes you smile and what doesn't. All right. So they might have a good understanding of you, I would think. All right. This probably seems like it was a situation that over time it worked for some reason. There was a lot of, you guys probably could have at one point in time listed all the things you guys had in common, why it works and whatever like that. But it's suggested with Temperance reverse that changed at some point. All right. Maybe you blame them. Maybe they blame you. Maybe you both think it's mutual. I don't know. All right. Whatever the case is, it seems like there was obviously some sort of breakup. Maybe there's distance that has occurred. That could have resulted from just bad vibes with each other or friction. All right. This person, however, does still see some sort of potential with you. All right. I don't know if that's just as friends with benefits, or I don't know. But whatever the case is, this could be someone that doesn't quite want, because they're familiar with certain things that maybe synergize with them, you know, they get along with. It's like they don't want to quite just throw it all away in the trash. So this is a person trying to justify salvaging something. All right. One thing that could also be alluring them is potentially for certain Leos that they may feel that things are potentially showing improvement and you're doing better, or something's changed with you. I don't know. Or I kind of already went over that. But as I said, what seems to be holding them back is the potential for things to become extremely rocky again, or it could be stable. But the problem is this person doesn't really know how it will go. All right. They seem to, I would assume, think that it could go from one extreme to the other pretty quick. I don't know how that would happen, but that's kind of what's potentially holding them back. All right. Knight of Cups is positive because it does kind of suggest maybe their intentions are romantic. But again, not 100%. What you can expect is Six of Pentacles. All right. This card is very favorable because it can talk about somebody that wants to give. All right. In your case, would be give attention to you. All right. Where it goes from there, who knows? All right. This may not happen for everybody. So again, I'm always cautious when it says what, you know, like again, for expectations. Never have expectations. It's just suggestion that it could potentially happen. All right. And the reason I'm saying that is because this energy still is not concluded. We don't know if this person is going to take a chance or it won't. So I mean, if they're not going to take a chance, then I guess you're not going to see any of this. All right. I don't know why I feel this reading's not concluded. What is a factor that could change the outcome? It says Ace of Pentacles reversed and Seven of Pentacles reversed. So it says some type of pattern or mistake repeating again. So there's one, this is actually a pretty good answer the tarot gave here, because what it says is that the Seven of Pentacles reversed talks about when, there's a lot of actually things it talks about, but one thing that it would suggest in this situation is some sort of pattern or mistake or something that has occurred in the past that was negative and led to a negative outcome repeating itself. Okay, the only reason that happens is if both parties or one party, I don't know, has not been able to kind of, you know, become aware of whatever issue tore the situation the last time. All right. It's like predicting almost potentially certain Leos, or maybe it's this person, or it's both of you repeating some sort of mistake again, which can lead to an opportunity being flushed down the drain. All right. So this actually is almost implying that it could actually go somewhere if something happens, but if something repeats, then it won't. So who the hell knows what that is? All right. I wouldn't overthink it. Good luck to you, Leo. Bye-bye now. Alright, who we got next? We got Virgo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Virgo. Tell me about the person our Virgos are not talking with. Who's this person? What can I know about this person? We got the 5 of Cups here. I'm going to probably take that. We got the 10 of Cups following it. I won't take that though. Tell us about the 5 of Cups. Seems right for your reading. Why are they being described as 5 of Cups? So we have the 5 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Swords here. So we've got some Leo and Gemini energy, and we've got Scorpio here. This is a person that is regretting some sort of situation that occurred with you. Okay? What exactly the 5 of Wands is talking about here is, I don't know. Alright, it can generally talk about friction, competition between two people. It can talk about other things like exploring lovers or partners or things like that, but I don't think it has any relevance here. Alright, it's evident that this person's stressing about it. The 9 of Swords is one of the worst cards for that, because it can talk about someone that's just overthinking something. Or they worry about it unnecessarily. Like, really, it's not even productive thinking. It's just like, it's just like, it could be like a person going throughout their day, and it's like, they go to work, they do their thing, and then for whatever reason, they crack open a couple beers, and then they got the thoughts going, and then for some reason, you pop up in their mind, and now they're thinking about that situation. Why did that happen? I don't know. I wonder what they're doing. They probably don't care. Blah, blah, blah. It's like that kind of like mopey thinking. I'm getting like a mopey energy off this person. All right. This is, in my opinion, a poor me kind of energy. All right. Sulking. I don't know, that sounds kind of negative and condescending to them. Maybe they have a good reason to sulk. Right? They're just disappointed. Tell us about this person that's disappointed towards Virgo. How do they feel towards Virgo? The one that's not talking with Virgo. There's a loss here. We have 3 of Cups reversed. How else do they feel? Person's quite negative. Oh gosh. Let's use Banana Tarot. Person Virgo's not talking with, the one that's kind of bummed out towards Virgo. How do they feel towards the Virgo? Come on now. I'm not gonna take that either. Come on. All right. Well, no. I'm not taking that either. Fuck me. I'm trying one more time. Otherwise, I'm just reading with this one card. Person that is not talking with Virgo. How do they feel towards Virgo? All right. We got one card. We're taking it. 5 of Swords. All right. Again, we got another person crying here. This person is so bummed out. I guess we know that there's you, Virgo, right there. And there's them, bummed out. Look at Virgo. I'm just kidding. A lot of you are like, I'm not that. I'm literally throwing fuel in the fire there. How does this person see Virgo? The 8 of Wands, you don't want to talk to them, or there's no progress at all. Oh my gosh. How does Virgo see this person? 10 of Pentacles reversed. I guess there was you and them having a TV dinner, you know, with the dog. It's flushed down the drain there. So that's almost implying that you kind of just see the value lost in this situation. You might have felt at one point that there was a lot of, I don't know, like, you know, at one point maybe this matched this picture, but no longer. It can imply with that, for some of you who had children, had a family, this could be a divorced partner, all right? I only say that again because just stating the obvious, all right? Imagery in the tarot is important. Tell us more, I guess, about this 5 of Swords and their feelings towards Virgo. Six of Swords. Wow. Well, there's no other way to say this, Virgo. Whoever this person is feels. If I had to take a gander, they are playing the victim card here. They feel that in some ways that they got the, the not so good end of the stick. All right. I can't help but say that there's some sort of finger pointing towards you, because it almost looks from the way the energy is that this is a person that is radiating, I'm the victim in this energy, or I kind of got, again, the worst, the short straw, and they feel that in some ways that maybe there was some game playing with trying to move things forwards or something like that, which again, if they're playing the victim, they're not going to take responsibility. They're going to probably point and say that you were the one complicating things, all right? That they were trying to actually resolve things, and you just couldn't help yourself. You just couldn't help it. You had to use those thumbs to really text some mean things to them. All right, unproductive, unhelpful things. All right. A lot of you are going to immediately disagree with that and say that I actually have a book that I can describe about this person. I don't know. It won't be the case for all of you, but this person kind of feels like maybe you complicated things. All right. Why does this person feel that, if this is true, why does this person feel that Virgo complicated progression between this person and Virgo? Again, it says 5 of Swords. Again, what are the odds of that? It says, so this is like for a Virgo that I'm assuming got very defensive. So for some of you that are very protective or defensive about your position, your standpoint. Or B, for certain Virgos that like to play games that you're like secretly admitting, yes, I occasionally was playing games to see if they were cheating on someone, right? If you ever did that, you're like that Virgo that was trying to uncover whether they were doing something. This person may feel that it was a bit of a backstabbing kind of move, right? This could also be for Virgos that got very pissed off at this person and were trying to, throw this person under the bus as payback, like revenge. I don't know. Or it could have just been a Virgo that just was defensive. Like you'll complicate everything just because you're annoyed at this person. Maybe you felt that they did you dirty or something like that, so now you're going to give them some payback. Right? Like, I'm just going to be difficult to them. Make them, like, really work for it. I don't know. It's something like this, but this person's adamant that you did something around that. This Five of Swords energy it's never good because it's a loss for everybody. And generally, if you notice one thing, there's only one person having fun and one person that's holding the sword. This person feels that you got the better end of the stick and they kind of got the shit end of the stick. Or you kind of, I don't know. I'm going to be honest, Virgo, I don't see this situation going anywhere. If this is how this person really feels, this will never work, ever, in a million years. Never going to work. Why are we getting this reading? Most likely because they are radiating it. They're manifesting this to occur. Because it's unresolved tension. It even says it here. Practically strangling themselves. What can Virgo expect from this person that clearly has a lot of issues towards Virgo? Says the High Priestess reversed. Oh, this just gets better and better. Why that? So it says a tower? You could have a blow up with this person for... Who is this reading most likely applying to? I'm going to be honest. If you've had a peaceful period and you never had any real dramatic problems with this person, it's unlikely this reading is probably going to apply to you. All right. This is clearly talking about a person between a Virgo and some other person where there was emotions stepped on. This person feels that they either A, got wronged, B, got the short end of the stick, or C, you somehow, I don't know, just they didn't like their attitude, the way that you kind of responded back, or something you did, or acted, or something like that, just triggered them, all right? Whatever the case is, this person seems to be way pointing that finger to you for some reason, right? Why are they pointing the finger with a gesture? The only reason is because, again, they feel like they got wronged or something, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. I could see that phrase running through this person's mind a million times, right? The High Priestess here is not good because it can talk in some ways, well, the Tower is kind of like saying it could be a blowout of some sort. Now, I don't think this person is going to, I don't want to make predictions or anything like that because I don't know. The Tower can talk about a shakeup of some sort. This person it could be something as simple as this person randomly messages you and wants to kind of talk about something that's bothering them, which I would think could happen. What goes on in the Tower for Virgo? Again, judgment reversed. I don't know. This has got to be for a Virgo where it's predicting some sort of potential argument or some disagreement that could happen. All right. I think for most of you, unfortunately, this is not going to apply this reading. It's definitely for some Virgo that's been in a, I don't know, some crazy situation with a person or something where there's still some sort of tension. All right. It's very evident this person is wanting to try and vent something to you. All right. Unfortunately, I don't see any type of romance in this reading. Okay. In summary, it's basically suggesting it. If you heard from this person, and this reading's applying, Their intention is really because there's something that's bothering them and they want to get it off their chest to you. All right. Where it goes from there, who knows? Maybe it ends up having a positive conclusion. All right. But I don't know. Not the best reading. Sorry, that's what I got for you, Virgo. Kind of an odd one. Maybe they're an X for a reason. Probably better just to keep it like that. All right. Why that came through, I don't know. Libra. How are you doing, Libra? Tell me about the person our Libras are not talking to. Who is this person and what can we know? What can we know about this person? Says the Lovers. So this could be a person you had some rendezvous with or you had some passion with. All right. It shows them a bit of a ghost here, Libra, in this card. So I've always felt there's a bit of mystery the way that this, because there's obviously different versions of how the cards are drawn for the Lovers and every card in tarot. But with this one, it shows more of a ghost, like a ghost appearance. So it's almost like an elusive person. All right. Maybe it was a secret lover. I don't know. Someone you dream about. So I take it as a person that you did have a good connection with at some point. You may have also felt that they were the one, again, at one point. Tell us about how this person feels towards Libra, the person that Libra's not talking with. How do they feel towards Libra? Death. Okay. Who knows? Maybe this person is dead. I'm just kidding. That's very unlikely. Tell me how this person feels towards Libra. One more card. How else do they feel? Okay, the Magician reversed. Well. So that's kind of suggesting here, Libra, that this is a person that kind of feels that this is just a closed out situation. That's not, I guess, not going anywhere right now. Tell us more about death. We have 8 of Swords reversed. That doesn't tell us much either here. So the problem with the 8 of Swords showing up like that is because it's almost implying that this person, the way that they feel, is that it's something that's closed out. All right? You know, the ship sailed. All right? the Eight of Swords reversed is also like a releasement energy. It's somebody that's no longer really stressing about something, all right? Whatever problems, issues, worries, doubts, whatever it could have been plaguing their mind is no longer there, all right? Now, where do we probably see something like that? Somebody that's made peace with something. It just is what it is. Not worrying about it anymore, right? And the Magician reversed here is not good because it further supports that. Because it's basically saying that it's just like, you know, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. How do they see Libra? Person. So it says Four of Swords. Okay. This could be a bit of a homebody energy as well. Shows a guy in his room here. But this card does talk about silence. It does talk about alone time. Taking out time for yourself. This person. But in terms of communication, it's pure silence. Alright. This person may feel that you are keeping to yourself, alright, just doing you, whatever that may be, alright. This card can also just kind of be a generalized suggestion that this individual doesn't really have much of an idea of what's going on with you or what you're doing, alright. It does transition from the Three of Swords, so if there was any type of bad blood, pain, worries, breakup, whatever like that, it's almost implying again with like death, like that past. It's gone. But there's one little thing here that I want to point out. The fact that the Four of Swords is upright implies that this person sees you as, even though it's done, it still implies that they don't see you over the situation, because that, if it was reversed, it would more be a conclusion that you've definitely left the building. This person doesn't see it like that. They still kind of believe that while the situation's over, you're not. It's like maybe they feel like you still think about them. I'm not sure. All right. The Nine of Cups reversed showed up here. All right. You might be emotionally shut off to this person. All right. It's kind of. It shows here this woman kind of more subservient to this knight over here, which is implying like she, you know, she's obviously very fond of that knight, you know, willing to kind of help him out, be loyal to him, whatever. She, you know, she's, you know, taking her time, kind of make sure he's doing good. You know, she's also offering her cup, which is kind of like a romantic gesture, right? But here it's reversed, so it's kind of like closed for business, not interested. You know, and you gotta remember with the Knight cards is an action card, which tells us that this person sees you're not doing anything. The horse is in the stall, parked. There's them. You gonna let me in? Probably not, according to this. What can Libra expect from this person? It's the Seven of Wands. That's going to be a fat nothing, in my opinion. Why is the situation stalled? So it says the Ten of Cups reversed. There's a loss, a deep disconnect or divide or loss of passion between the both of you. Why did that happen? Why did the Ten of Cups reverse occur? We have Magician reversed again. It says Lovers reversed. Wow. Well, I'm not going to dig too far into that. What is my final conclusion here, Libra? Well, let me ask one more thing here. What does this person that's not talking with Libra want with Libra? In a perfect world. So now it says the reversal of this. All right. Here's my final impression. This is a person that it would imply, again, some element of mystery with this card. All right. Lovers can talk about choices of soulmates. They can talk about some sort of partner that you encountered where there was a potential for death do us part. Nobody knows for sure in the immediate moment, but your brain kind of sees some potential somehow. All right. It could have been passion, it could have been romance, there could have been energy put into the connection at one point. Again, the ghost of this gentleman here can, for some reason, I normally don't pay attention to things like that, but for this reading, it can be I don't know, it feels relevant here. This person may have been mysterious, or maybe their presence was absent. I'm not sure. So I don't know for sure. Maybe it was, again, for some of you, who knows? Maybe it was a secret kind of romantic lover. You know, hopefully there wasn't cheating going on, but you know, seems like these days that's going on a lot. Anyways, in their feelings, this person, as I said earlier, it kind of looks like they feel like it's done. It's a goner kind of situation. There's not a lot of hope or optimism from this person that the situation can revive. And part of the reason is that they don't see the means for it to revive. That's whether it's just negativity or this person has legitimate reasons for thinking that, I don't know. This person, again, sees you as somebody that's heart shut off, you're not interested, and you're doing your own thing. And in fact, it can almost go as far as this person doesn't even know what you're really doing. All right? So, again, there's an absence or division between the both of you. All right? And what you can expect is Seven of Wands. That is somewhat of a defensive energy. So, this person may just be on guard or just keeping to themselves. For what reason? I don't know. All right? It tells a story that this little romantic couple over here evaporated. What caused that? I don't know. All right, but the Ten of Cups being reversed like that is a real problem. It's a real wrench in the cogwheels because that talks about an emotional connection that was very strong at one point. There was a lot of trust and faith put in the other person, and something divided that. All right. In many cases, I would say throughout my tarot career here, 90% of the time, whenever I do readings around this and I see that kind of energy that shows up, it's always one person blaming the other. But in reality, it's generally, there's problems on both sides of the equation, all right? For both people to kind of mutually be like, nah, there's a reason for that. It's not just one person, all right? Whatever the case is, the situation looks like it kind of died here a bit. Why is this reading showing up here? This person's energy is very mysterious, if I have to give my honest 2 cents here. But this does imply in what they want to come out of the cold, all right? We saw earlier that this card was upright, suggesting they felt they were disconnected, all right? But the coming out of the cold part is not so straightforward because even though that they're wanting that, it's almost implying that all this other bullshit is still here. So I'm like pretty much 50-50 on this situation. I really don't know where it's going to go, but as of right now, it's kind of showing a very disconnected status. Libra, right? Will something change? Who knows, all right? The only one that I think will probably shake this up is you know who, all right? Good luck to you. That's all I got. Leave a like if you got something out of that. What is this right here?
Scorpio. Talk about the person our Scorpios are not talking with. Who's this person? Card comes out. It says the Three of Cups reversed. Why is this reversed? Why is the Three of Cups reversed? I've got a card up right here. Flip that. Quick shuffle. Right. Clarify the Three of Cups and who this person may be for Scorpio. It says Two of Swords reversed. That doesn't tell me anything. Well, actually it does. All right, this could be a person here, Scorpio. This is this is not a guarantee, but this is the way I'm looking at it. It's somewhat suggestive that of a person where some sort of problem or dilemma occurred, where it was an impactful kind of choice or decision of some sort that was never made, that led to things. Okay, this is entirely possible, and I'm just giving this as purely an example, all right? This could be like a person that you felt had another person in the picture, and you're like, okay, well, you can't have both. So you either want me or you want them, all right? And this person, just for whatever reason, didn't want to decide, all right? That's the worst case scenario there, but it can talk about a lot of other things. Maybe there was no other person, and it could just be talking like you were like saying you either want to be in a long-term committed relationship with me or you don't. All right? Because maybe there's a person that wants to kind of live like they're single still when you're like, you're treating it like we're in a relationship. Are we or are we not? Right? It could have been something like that where this person did not want to give a decision on something. All right? You would know what that is. All right, or couldn't make a choice, or kept something kind of deadlocked. All right, and it led to things kind of souring, or falling through. Tell us about this person where things became deadlocked, or some decision that couldn't be made. Person that Scorpio's not talking to. How do they feel towards Scorpio? Oh, got the Queen of Cups here. Looks like you're making an appearance. Person still has love towards you and strong romantic feelings towards you. How else do they feel towards Scorpio? Wow, we got Queen of Pentacles. Apparently, as you can see, they're thinking about romantic memories between you and them. There's you and there's them, offering you a big wad of cash. Look how mesmerized Scorpio was. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, buddy. All right. Anyways, in all seriousness, this person, I think, sees a lot of favorable qualities about you. All right. One of the problems when it comes to romance is that, like, you know, a person can essentially, whenever they have romantic attraction to someone, where I don't know what it is, something that the person does that turns the person on and they fall in love, whatever like that, people have this natural tendency to overlook all sorts of problems and issues. It's like it automatically just goes to the side. And then they start looking at things that sometimes aren't even really there about this person. Like they're going to be the magical person I've been looking for, even though that person has never even displayed those qualities yet. All right, I think this person has something like that when they look at you. Like they're seeing attributes, because this energy is very strong here. All right, they may just see you as, because this could be somebody that's strongly suited for homebody energy. All right, I could see myself settling down with Scorpio. Because let's be honest, trying to get along with a Scorpio is impossible. I'm just kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. Tell us about the person our Scorpios are not talking with. This person that seems to have some obvious attraction towards Scorpio. How do they see Scorpio? Alright, so we have the High Priestess. Wow. This
person may feel that you're very mysterious, also a very emotional person. Right? The High Priestess also has, and I rarely say this in readings, but it is a card that embodies a lot and a lot of sexual qualities. Right? A lot of that comes from the mystery, the alluring qualities that often, generates chemistry. It can be mysterious or strange factors about you, the way that you dress or something that you do. All right. There is in the tarot like some suggestion of sexual, like I said, attraction with this card to be just alluring. All right. People they don't want something that's boring. They want something that's different. So it could be maybe something that, again, you do in the bedroom, or it's something you do just in general as a person that they find interesting, or the way that you act. Maybe it's different from traditional people they've interacted with. There's also a strong suggestion of feminine qualities here with this reading. This person may see a lot of feminine traits with you. Even if you are a masculine, a male watching this person, I don't know how else to say it. I see certain... Well, we'll just say homebody traits. If this person has so much interest in Scorpio, what is stopping them from making an appearance? So it says the Hierophant reversed. Tell us more about this Hierophant reversed. And we have the Emperor reversed. What does that have to do with Scorpio? So then it says the World reversed. Okay, evidently it's suggesting something doesn't work between you and them. You know what I find puzzling about this reading is that in how this person feels is that they see a lot of good qualities about you. But this is actually suggesting rebellious nature on their side. The Emperor reversed can just plain and simple talk about a person that does not align with these values whatsoever. They do the opposite of that, actually. If it's loyalty, they can't be trusted. If it's sticking to a plan, they can't do that. All right? If it's trying to be honest and generous, basically support the whole family, they'll go and be selfish and do it themselves. Why? Because, hey, money's money and I gotta go make it for myself. This can be a person that sometimes will make decisions that's not for the better of everybody else. And then they're kind of like, well, I wasn't, sorry. Turns out I wasn't thinking about you whatsoever when I made that decision. Didn't mean it, though. Hierophant reverse, though, is... Here's the kicker, though. The Hierophant reverse can just talk about values that are estranged or different from you. In other words, their priorities are different. All right? So it's hard for me to know if this is just a person that, for whatever reason, has a different way that they conduct themselves to you. But irregardless, despite that, they still see good qualities about you. All right? And it's like you look at this card over here, but it's the reverse here. So something evidently failed or didn't work. How does Scorpio view this Emperor reversed? Do I take this or not? I guess we will. It says the King of Wands reversed. Alright, well, I'm going to just stick with this then. This is evidently a reading, Scorpio, suggesting of some sort of masculine energy that's very, it's very evident it's a masculine energy here. Also potential, we'll just state the obvious, a fire sign of some sort. So their traits are more likely to be someone that could be A, attractive, B, somebody that's very outgoing, C, a person that has a lot of rebellious or rebel-like qualities. They don't like to be told what to do. This person probably just has probably a high tendency to want money, cars, flashy things, loves to invest time looking in the mirror themselves. You know, this is a person that probably has commitment issues. This person probably has anything that's probably suggesting I'm just one song away from being the next big rapper on YouTube or something like that, alright? Those are the kind of qualities that unfortunately don't really synergize or work with a long-term committed relationship. And this could have been something where they look good, or they have certain things about them that you like, but you just know that when they come around, it's just not gonna work because they can't help themselves. All right, their energy kind of suggests that. All right, and that kind of creates this. What it's showing here is a dynamic where we've got this polar negative and this polar positive. I don't know if that's the yin and yang in this case, but it seems like in a relationship sense it doesn't work. All right, so it could be implying like, again, this is like the bad boy with the bad girl kind of thing, or the bad boy with the good girl. You know, that thing. I know in the movies it works, but in real life it tends to not work. Alright? Who this person is, someone that won't make their mind up. I get a sense that it's an individual that, again, was probably juggling between, do I want my way, or is it going to be the highway? You know, am I going to have to just say no to this? So this could have been a person that didn't want to settle down. Okay? I think, though, despite that, this person still likes this, what you had to offer, but just can't. It's like they're dabbling between, well, I can't give this up. I can't give the hustle up. You're asking too much from me. Jeez. What do you mean I gotta show up for my kid's birthday? Yeah. Supposed to be at the club with Shantae. I'm just kidding. Hopefully not. If that's the case, then never talk to this person ever. Like, for real. What can Scorpio expect from this person? Wow. I've got the devil here. You know, maybe you just need to leave this person where you found them. You know, I'm going to say overall in conclusion, Scorpio, this is a kind of an odd reading, right? This appears to be a person that I think you're disconnected from. I think at one point before you knew of the problems, or and again, this is definitely pointing to a Scorpio that found out issues about this person. There probably was a lot of fun with this person. I would take a guess that this person is good at that. They probably know how to at least entertain you. Maybe could have even done you pretty good in bed for some of you, right? You might have liked certain things, like maybe their style, or maybe their choice of music. Who knows? Maybe you just liked their vibe. All right, there could have been qualities that you felt was going to bloom into this. Eventually, they'll settle down and it'll work out and we'll stick together. But perhaps you started to notice that their behavior, unfortunately, just never went there. They kept on telling you that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the wife and the we'll live happily ever after. And then you started noticing there was a lot of inconsistencies because their energy pretty much says that that is the case. And it's more just the way that I guess they are. I don't know. But whatever the case is, it does suggest that, again, whether this is true or not, I don't know, but that they wouldn't arrive to some conclusion, all right? You be the judge of what that is. But if I had to take a guess, it's that this person didn't want to settle down or they didn't want to stick around for a long-term thing and you were getting on their case about it and that probably started causing some friction, all right? The fact that they won't choose, what a dick, all right? This person could have known their worth, and maybe they felt that, it's like, I'm not going to settle down because I still want to go and dick around a bit. I don't know. All right. But they got a taste of what you had to offer, and apparently it did rub off on them. It would suggest that they still think about it or they still value it. All right. That's good. But the devil energy is showing that they still have attraction towards you. But the thing that I don't like about this reading is it does imply that if they do have a negative kind of behavioral pattern, again, could that be them trying to show off? They got to go to the bar. They're still like wanting to go to clubs and all that kind of stuff. Or they still have that tendency like they just gotta have something going on. They can't stand that idea of settling down in one place. If that's how they are, this is never gonna work. Period. All right, at least in my opinion. All right, why I think we're getting this reading is because they're still manifesting you. All right, evidently this has been something that they've manifested. All right, the only reason that I could think they could be doing that too, and I just want to add, whether this is just extra fluff in the cake here, is this is probably because, I'm assuming if they do have a kind of an on and off kind of lifestyle, whatever like that, the problem with that is that you never get to settle down. You never get, and for some people they can look at what other people got and say, well, I need that. I need that. I had that with Scorpio. So they kind of sit in that state where it's like, how do I get what I want? Like, I know if I got to do what I got to do for Scorpio, then I have to give up certain things. I don't know if it's like one of these kinds of situations. All right. The devil, though, and this is the last thing I'm going to add here, it also has a high chance that this person may know what things to say to you or how to come back around. If what it's saying here is true, this is probably a person that would know how to get your attention if they wanted to, and they'll definitely have some idea on whether you'd be receptive to it or not. Some of you are just going to give it a hard no, and that's fine. Alright, it's not going to go anywhere. But anyways, that's what I got for you. I think overall it's just some person that may not have the best qualities that you had attraction to for a while, that's still wanting to see if you're going to want to get back in the game. Maybe it's just Netflix and you know what, I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about that family thing over a Netflix movie. See where it goes, baby. Want me to bring some roses? Will that kind of ease you on a little bit? I promise. Everything's different. I'm telling you. Scorpio's like, no. I'm just kidding. 4 more readings to go. Let's get this done. Sagittarius. Talk about the person our Sagittarius are not talking to. A card comes out. It says the Hierophant reverse. This card's been wanting to come out quite a bit. Alright, this could be a person you had trouble getting along with. Alright, or you found out that you guys have difference in values or qualities, or this person rejected marriage or divorced them for some of you, or this person wasn't interested in marriage. Alright. So it could go either way there. Tell us about this person that apparently had differences to Sagittarius. How do they feel towards Sagittarius, the one that's not talking? How do they feel? So we have 7 of Wands. How else do they feel towards Sagittarius? King of Wands. This person's guarded towards you. Okay. This could kind of go either way here, Sagittarius, but it's suggestive here with the King of Swords that this person, in some ways, it's implying, whether that's true or not, is open to communication with you. But the kings don't typically reach out. So it's kind of like, I got my phone. You can call me if you want. You can talk. I'll talk. So this is probably a person that'd be willing to communicate or say something back to you. All right. But again, the problem with the king energy is the only king that might make a move is the king of wands. But the other ones are going to generally sit back. They'll generally wait for you to come to them. All right. The seven of wands can be suggesting that you are guarded to them or they're guarded to you. But I'm assuming it's they kind of perceive that you're a little apprehensive to them. I'm not saying that like you would flip out towards them, but maybe you're just kind of like, like you're. It's that kind of uncomfortable energy where it's like I'm not really saying it to your face, but you can feel that I'm a little guarded to you or suspicious of you. It could be something like that. All right, so this person may feel that it's best just to hold back. Maybe if you're interested, you'll come to them. Could be one of those things. Tell us about this person that's not talking with Sagittarius. How do they see Sagittarius? Wow, this person still has an interest without the Two of Cups. Either you're in a relationship for some of you, but for most of you, this person just sees you as, again, relationship material. What is holding them back from coming towards Sagittarius? If they're interested in the connection, what's holding them back? It says strength. Well, that can be a card of holding back. Or you're holding back from them, potentially. I have a tower here. I'm not going to take that, though. So I'm going to more interpret that as just not very clear. How does Sagittarius person, this ex-partner, how does Sagittarius see this person? Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles here reversed. Why does Sagittarius see them as Seven of Pentacles reversed? It says Fool reversed. I don't want to over speculate on this, but it can be read here that you may have felt that this person had certain patterns or something that they did more than once. That you felt there's two things it could suggest here. Either one, like this person could have been very hesitant, or you felt like you were trying, like from your side, I'm talking about. You were trying to push things forwards and you felt like they were kind of getting cold feet at times. Okay, the Fool energy is normally when it's upright, can talk about somebody that's willing to take chances, willing to just, let's just try it type thing, or they'll put effort into something even if they don't know the outcome is going to be positive. Okay, this can be like, let's just, we've known each other for 5 months, dated, whatever like that, and now we're moving in, right? You're going to get some people that are like, let's just do it. And there's going to be other people that are like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. One of those kind of things. Well, that's a cold feet energy. So it's kind of giving that impression here, like you could see this person as somebody that was a little cautious to you or hesitant or something like that. All right. But the Seven of Pentacles being reversed, that can talk about a lot of different things. So it's hard to pinpoint what exactly it is that you have issue with. But in the general way I would explain this is that you saw something that was like a repeating pattern, all right, that you didn't like or this person was hesitant towards, all right. Now, the Fool being reversed can also just talk about something that's reckless behavior or stupid behavior or acting dumb, all right. So maybe you just felt like this person at times was just that. They're acting immature or dumb about certain things, all right. But I don't really lean to that because, by default, most people that are bitter or annoyed at someone will just automatically say everything that the other person did was dumb or stupid. All right. So we can just conclude that there was something you didn't like here that kept on happening. This person kept on making some repeatable mistake in your eyes. You may also feel for a portion of you, this person hasn't changed from where they are. Like, something about them doesn't change. The person that's not talking with Sagittarius, what is their overall energy to Sagittarius? It says 10 of Swords. Could explain the defensive energy here. So this could have been a relationship that definitely soured. That's why they've guarded energy here. So that's not for say good. What can Sagittarius expect from this person they're not talking with in the near future? A card that came out. So that we got 7 of Wands here. It's reversed. That's not good. Well, what does that mean for Sagittarius? Why does that happen? Why is there avoidant energy? And it's showing out in the cold here. Why is there disconnection? Death, it just ends. Well, it's not exactly the outcome I was expecting, but... So it's showing in what you can expect that there's a bit of a collapse, a giving up energy here. It's also showing avoidance and stuff. It's suggesting that with death, it's just kind of ending, letting the... you're just letting it, you know, you see that the tower burned, you're done, you're moving past it, onto something else. All right? Obviously, you can't stew and sit in the rubble forever. Most of you have already done that. Right? Tower reverse shows up here. This reading, in my opinion, Sagittarius, is this for... It would apply mostly to a Sagittarius that... Like, this was a situation that either recently happened or has happened in the last couple months, alright? This reading starts to kind of, in my opinion, less apply if this is like a breakup that happened over a year ago. I don't think that would really apply here. This energy seems too fresh. It seems like something like a person that's still bitter, or two people that are kind of maybe like there's some tension of some sort. But the thing is, that what's the positive out of it? This person still apparently still sees you as somebody they would want to date or something. But I don't know what's causing the division. And the only thing I can conclude is there's some sort of difference in values, or something that this person keeps doing that you don't like, you can't get along, you can't stand it. And the other key thing is it's something that you don't like, that they won't change. Or either they say they're going to change and they don't. Alright? But keep in mind, this person may feel that there are things you do that you won't fix or you won't change. How does this person feel about the 7 of Pentacles reversed towards Sagittarius? It goes out. So we have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this person feels a lot of times when it comes to the 7 of Pentacles reversed, in counter to that you are emotionally shut off to them and you don't really kind of see the synergy going on here. Well, they're saying you're the opposite of that. You don't even try. Alright, so this is a person that will kind of probably say that I'm hesitant, whatever like that, because of the way that you're acting towards me. Again, this is one of those, if this is right, or has any kind of resemblance of being right, then this is a situation that, again, seems like it's a bit deadlocked. Both people have a position on why they act the way that they are. Well, how do you resolve that? Well, you just need to do that. No, you just need to do this. I don't know if this is really as like blown up as I'm saying it is here, Sagittarius, but it could just be like, at lightest. This is a situation where it's like a very like indirect, subtle quarrel that's going on where people probably aren't even really voicing their grievances. It's like we'll just use telepathy to understand this argument. Mental gymnastics at its finest. What could break the stalemate, Spirit? What would break the stalemate between Sagittarius? I'm not going to take that. Let's use a different deck. What could break this stalemate between Sagittarius and this person they're not talking with? So it says the devil reversed. Wow. Seeing the illusion, it says. So the devil, when it's upright, is generally talking about some type of illusion that is going on that keeps causing people to be chained in the same problems. Like, it's insanity. It's going around, again, we've all heard it. Doing the same thing over and over again, all right? I just talked about that earlier, that this apparently it's suggesting in this reading is going on in some fashion, some way, all right? And actually it fits the devil energy quite well, because if you do see this person doing something that you don't like or doing or keeps repeating some type of behavior, the problem is that they counter and say that, again, that the way that you're acting further frustrates them or irritates them, which causes them to act in a way that you don't like or something like that. Which, again, that's like that game that goes on forever. That would be the perfect illusion, because it pretty much means that neither side can see an answer and it just goes around in circles. So typically in situations like that, all the conclusion just results that the situation ends. People split and they're just like, fuck you, I'm out, whatever. Not wasting time on this. Or it's just a quiet quitting. We both just go our way, just whatever. You do you and I'll do me. Alright? So it's saying if the illusion is broken, then apparently it works. I don't know. Who knows if that's true. That's what I got for you, Sagittarius. Good luck to you. Alright. Looks like you want ice cream and they want money. Alright. So you just gotta work that out somehow. Maybe you can give her the money and you can give him the ice cream. Or maybe you could share the money and the ice cream. Like, I don't know, maybe I could, actually show up on time and take you out to dinner and you could, like, show me a little bit of that heart. I don't know. I guess I could try that. I guess. Alright. Capricorn. Tell me about the person our Capricorns are not talking to. Who is this person? What can we know about them? It says the Eight of Wands reversed. So this is a person that it came to a sudden ending to, or there's no communication, or things are just stuck or stalled. Okay, it says Hangman reversed. So, I'm just speculating, because there's really no context to that card just coming out like that, but it's quite possible this is around something that has been going on for a long time, right? This is probably a problem that's festered or some sort of issue. I'm not saying directly with you, Capricorn, but it's probably on their side, all right? Something to do with them, all right? We got hermit energy, something that they're festering or thinking about. Why things stopped or ended. Tell us about this person that seems to be contemplation or stuck in a lot of like a mental limbo about why things ended with Capricorn. How do they feel towards Capricorn? Strength. Dude, I'm so tired of that card. We're just going to put it as a top card. It keeps coming out, and I just don't want to read it anymore. How do they feel? Anything else besides that towards Capricorn? So we have the King of Cups, and we'll say that it's like almost trying to like lean back. So maybe half their heart is open for business. I'm not sure. Okay. Maybe they're bending over backwards for you. I don't know. How do they feel towards, another card comes out, Capricorn. Six of Wands. This person's got some pretty positive feelings toward you. Tell us more about the Six of Wands. Five of Pentacles. This is kind of vague here, Capricorn, but it's showing still nonetheless like an optimistic energy where this person feels disconnected from you, but something could resolve. I don't know how they're seeing that, right? This card in this particular deck does show the telescope and the island here, suggesting that this person has distance away from you, but they're watching you from afar. All right. Generally, this is telling us disconnection, where emotions are soured, or you and them have kind of split your ways, or you're at a distance, or whatever like that. But the Six of Wands could talk about victory or overcoming something. So I don't know if this is like an optimism where this person feels something could be resolved. Right? How do they see Capricorn, the person that's not talking with Capricorn? How do they see Capricorn? Two of Pentacles, there's balance here. This is good. It's Capricorn energy. Stable. You can see she's stable on that seesaw right there, or that plank. Although, you know, the cat's trying to obviously mess that up. let me ruin it for her. It's like totally a cat right there. What's stopping this person from coming towards Capricorn? It says the Emperor reversed. We notice there's a plan here to reverse. This person probably doesn't have a plan. Why is there no plan? Ten of Cups. Maybe this person's still wondering if you're into them or not. This reading's kind of vague. One thing that's very clear, though, in this reading, even though it's vague, is that this person has romantic interest in you still. Okay. Tell us more about the Emperor reversed. We have Death reversed. Well, what does that mean for Capricorn? Conflict. Well, okay, there is a problem here then. So, I'm going to read this, Capricorn, as what it's basically saying is that this is a person, right, that is quite fond of you, as I've already told you, all right? They see potential. There's evidently some suggestion in this reading that this person has emotional familiarity with you. In other words, that those connections were formed a while back where, I don't know, maybe it was you guys going to bed with each other, hanging out, maybe, you know, feeling like your family at one point, or you're going in that direction. Again, let's have reference back to this card here. Maybe there was some synergy that they were going to be the man of the house, or I don't know, the wife or whatever, if you're depending on your gender here. But whatever the case is, they see certain things about you that are good or balanced, and there is some still, in my opinion, attraction towards you. Right? The problem, there's a big kicker here, because when I asked why this isn't working, it's showing Emperor reverse, Death reverse, and this is suggestive that there was some type of unfavorable qualities with this person, when this should have been their role, but it was reversed here. All right, the Emperor is oftentimes somebody that made bad decisions, or there were decisions that weren't really inclusive of other people. In other words, it's like, you're saving up for a house or something like that, and then they went to go and blow it at the casino. Well, that was a decision suiting them and not you or anybody else. That could have caused some tension. Or it could have been this person decided to take you for granted and just stop caring, or whatever, or treated, or was acting very ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe the behavior was very negative towards you. All right, there's some sort of like negative connotation there with their energy from the past, and it shows the Death reversed that it's unresolved baggage from the past. When I talk about you, it's implying that you would see Five of Swords, implying that was a loss for everybody. Everybody got shafted, and also can talk about mind games, manipulation, problems, anger, frustrations, things like that. So that is suggesting that despite this person having a positive outlook to you, they seem to be keenly aware that there was something that happened that maybe you don't, I guess, you still haven't got over, or you're kind of, I don't know, bitter towards them about, I would think. All right? Even if you're not bitter towards this person, it could just suggest that you see some type of qualities or there's suspicion towards them. Like there was stuff you interacted with, or you saw about them that you can't now unsee. Like they, maybe they, fuck me, there's just so many things, like behaviors that you were like, nope, I don't want to deal with this anymore. All right, and now this person's like, oh god, well now they've seen now they have this impression about me. It could have been something like that. So I think this could have been a situation where it's a Capricorn that decided they had to kind of leave the situation for, what can I do? Alright, this person could have also been with the Emperor energy, may have been very unpredictable. And that they don't know, they bounce around a lot. I don't know, or, it's hard to know what they're trying to go at. One minute they seem like they're all family, then they're not. Drama, and this is only for some of you, there's a high potential also in this reading for certain Capricorns. This could have also emphasized heavy drama from the past, or fighting or arguments, stuff like that. But it won't apply to all of you. Yeah. Anything else for this reading? King of Wands. We see this person making a plan here. I think this person may come back around towards you, Capricorn. Alright? They have strong fire qualities, whoever they are. Alright? I could be wrong, but it does show somebody, it would most align with a person that has dominant qualities, someone that could have a temper, somebody that is generally, I'll just get it done myself, or they'll just go do stuff, or they'll reach out to you, or they can be persistent. They may have a personality like that, and then you don't hear from them. Then they're gone. But then it's like when they want something, or they're interested, or they're in a good mood, then they're all up your ass, and they love to be the charmer. I don't know. It could be a situation like this. Maybe you do get to see the loving side of them from time to time. All right. Who knows? Good luck to you, Capricorn. Kind of an interesting reading, I suppose. I don't know who that applies to. Hoping someone. Aquarius. Tell me about the person our Aquarius are not talking with. Who is this person? What can we know? It says the devil. All right. So this is likely a person that you had some sort of difficult, very bizarre or unusual relationship with. All right. High chance there was some sort of, again, anything to do with some degree of instability. All right. And I just want to say something. This is also for Aquarius, where I know everybody in tarot loves to kind of be like the angel. I never did anything wrong, you know. I generally wake up, and only when I wake up does the sun come out because I'm awake now. You know, the birds only start singing once I've had my coffee. You know, I'm kind of the meaning of happiness in life when I open my eyes. But in reality, we all from time to time participate in things we probably shouldn't be, all right? The devil energy is strong in the tarot, suggesting that it's not just one personalized. It takes two people to be part of the illusion, all right? In most cases. That's why it even shows it here, all right? So this can talk about an Aquarius that was wrapped up in some type of situation that was probably not healthy, but it's almost implying that while this person, whoever they are, may have been acting or doing things that probably weren't the best, it's suggesting that you weren't really doing much better in helping the situation. So it's talking about an Aquarius that also in some ways assisted in the situation, or wasn't able to see past the illusion. Alright. Now, some of you may have left the situation, and that's fine, but it's just saying that whoever this person was, it was some situation where you weren't able to get past the devil's illusion here. Tell us about this person that Aquarius got wrapped up with, whoever they are. How do they feel towards Aquarius? Okay. We have the King of Cups reversed. How else do they feel towards Aquarius? We have Four of Wands. Interesting. Clarify the King of Cups reversed. Ace of Cups. This is high potential that this person still wants a connection with you or sees potential for that. Alright, the Four of Wands is a great card for talking about reunions, reconnections, reestablishment of a relationship that's functional and stable. Alright, revisiting or continuing on a successful situation. Alright, so this is likely a person that did enjoy some type of something with you. Alright, and they may want to revisit that, right? The problem with the King of Cups reverse, Ace of Cups is probably suggesting here that there is some sort of blockage when it comes to the romantic department, all right? Either there isn't an opportunity there, or they're worried that you aren't going to be receptive to it, all right? This person too, Aquarius, may also be a little bit emotionally, like, not super open to you either, but it's kind of confusing how I want to explain it. It's not to say that they don't have romantic interest to you, but it's just showing for some reason like they would have emotions there, but it's kind of layered. So like for some reason they're kind of a little hesitant themselves towards you. How does this person see Aquarius? Person that's not talking with Aquarius. Nine of Pentacles reversed, that's kind of negative. Why do they see Aquarius like that? So we have Sun here. This person sees you seeking your own happiness or your own priorities, Aquarius. So it's kind of implying why it's negative is it's kind of suggesting that they kind of view it like either A, you don't have time for a relationship, or B, you're not interested in one because you're investing your time into other things, or C, your priorities are just focused on yourself. All right. Okay, you're going after things that you feel that you have to have or you want in your life. All right. Or you're going after things that are going to only make you happy. This is like that Aquarius that's like chanting and yelling, I'm doing me. I'm doing me. Well, this person's like, well, then you go and do you, and I'll just go. Bye. So it's not always good because sometimes, even though that's like we all want to invest in ourselves, sometimes it can send a wrong message. When a person's like, well, then, all right, you don't want anybody then. I think this person got that kind of impression, like you're just not interested in, you just want to do you. All right. Now, again, at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, Aquarius, do whatever the hell you want to do. All right, it's a free country. But I do think this person, nonetheless, still has some interest towards you, even if you are just doing you. Why do they see this as a barrier? This Nine of Pentacles reversed. So Hierophant reversed, again, so this can talk about difference in values or priorities. Alright? It can even talk about there's no foundation, no connection. Alright, so this person may feel also, Aquarius, that what you're trying to accomplish out of life is different to what they're trying to do. Alright? And I don't know if this is just miscommunication or the way that they're seeing it. Alright? Ten of Cups here, there's strong emphasis also that this person kind of feels like there's emotional disconnection between the both of you. Like it was there, but now it's not. How does Aquarius see this person you're not talking to? So Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles here. So this is interesting because it does kind of suggest that you also see this person as somebody that you had chemistry with. All right, enough so that you might have seen this person as a potential long-term partner. If Aquarius sees this person as Ten of Pentacles, then what is the problem? It says Wheel of Fortune reversed, so things didn't go to plan, or they just went against you, fell through. Wheel of Fortune reversed is it's a very negative card in the tarot because it can sometimes suggests that it's like almost like the universe wouldn't allow it to happen, or things just were, you got unlucky, or things like should have happened, or just the way it worked out, it was just bad timing, or I don't know, things kept on coming up, or problems kept on occurring, complicating the situation. Some people will just say that, like, well, it wasn't meant to be. What can Aquarius expect from this person that they're not talking with? Nine of Wands. Why would Aquarius expect that? No, I don't like that. Why would things remain rocky or imbalanced between the both of them? That doesn't. We got Nine of Cups. That doesn't answer anything. Why does the Two of Pentacles happen? Things haven't healed or recovered. What is this person that's not talking with Aquarius? What is their overall energy towards Aquarius? Nine of Cups reversed. So it's just still all around negative. What are they wanting from Aquarius? better decisions, better outcomes. Here's my final opinion, Aquarius. All right, you've got a person here that suggests that I'm thinking you and them met up with each other, you found chemistry, you had similarities, maybe you did well with talking with each other, getting along, I don't know. Maybe there was supposed to be a future at some point in time that never happened, all right? It's quite possible that both people maybe meant well for each other or whatever like that, but it's for some reason it's suggesting, as I said before, that things started to tank. Could have been a difference in values, as I said earlier, or something changed where there was certain problems that started to show up. But I would think it was differences amongst, like you didn't like something they were doing, or they didn't like something you were doing, or you couldn't agree on something, right? Or there was some kind of vision of a future that neither one of you could really agree on, or you just indirectly were kind of not going on the same path for some reason. I don't know. All right. This reading does suggest, for some, quite heavily, that there was definitely a focus on a future, but it didn't happen. Something derailed it. Right? The devil energy does imply that there was some repeating pattern or problem that both people couldn't see it. Right? I'm assuming it was enough, and it was obviously a big enough problem that it caused an emotional tear to occur like that. All right? This person sees you as somebody that's just at this point focusing on yourself, doing you, focusing on whatever makes you happy. All right, that you're kind of closed shop, or you're not. I guess maybe you're interested to other people, just not them. All right, so I would say that their overall kind of view of you is slightly tilted to negative. All right, behind closed doors, this person still has interest toward you. That's good. All right, what you can expect, it's just saying more tension, more instability. All right, why? Because it's saying things haven't healed. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. All right. What is this person's overall energy to you? They just see this as a bit of a flop. All right. They're seeing that there's a clear lack of emotional connection with each other or love as a core problem. All right. Seven of Pentacles is also suggesting that they want things to improve and they want better outcomes. If they had their way, that's what they want. In other words, they would like. So that's positive because if we saw something that would suggest that they just wanted it to be done with, then that would obviously be a done closed deal. But this is not saying that. It's saying that this person actually would, in some ways, if the stars aligned, would like something still to work with you. But they're not seeing a solution to that right now, which is so. I would assume at this point you may not hear from this person. I don't know, unless something changes. All right, who knows? Good luck to you, Aquarius. You still got somebody that's, I guess, interested in you. Pisces, you are my last sign. Hope all my Pisces are doing great. Okay. Tell me about the person hour. You know what? Let's use this deck. I haven't used this deck. I'm going to use this one. I haven't used it for any other reads. So, we'll just use it for special Pisces. Alright. Not saying there's favorites around here. But if there was. Tell me about this person. that our Pisces are not talking with. Who might they be? What can we know about them? It says the Six of Swords reversed. Alright, so this is likely a person that says there's been problems trying to ever resolve or move things forward. So that can imply that maybe you've had some contact with this person where for some of you try to mend the connection or have another go at it. But there could have been certain issues that were existing that prevented it from moving forward. Alright, that kept them popping up. Alright. It could have also been resistance to change. Tell us about this person our Pisces are not talking with. This person they have, and we got 5 of Wands here too. Could have been some tension. This could have been a fire sign as well. Judgment. It's also high suggestion of, and this won't apply to all of you, but just for some of you, could have strong energy suggesting of arguments or quarreling with each other or disagreements. Tell us about this person our Pisces are not talking with, one that they couldn't, I don't know, had some issues moving things forward with. How does this person feel towards Pisces? Death. Okay? Person feels that things are kind of somewhat resolved or over, but they still wonder about this a lot. Alright? It's a little conflicting in my opinion with death being there, but whatever. Oh, you know what? That could be suggesting that they're still wondering if it is over for good. Alright. So this person may, whoever they are, may be contemplating whether this is a done situation, alright, or it's basically in the phase of being permanently done. Alright. The Eight of Swords can tell us that they do think a lot about it. How would that actually be going on in real life, Pisces? It's probably them just on their own time, just pissing time away thinking about, things on, replaying it in their mind. Why did this happen? Alright. It's probably not an all-day, everyday thing, but it is suggestive there's some energy like that present. How else do they feel towards Pisces? This person that's not talking to Pisces. We got Knight of Cups here. So this person, again, it's still it does suggest they still want to come around. How do they see Pisces? So we have Two of Pentacles. So this person's seeing some type of opportunity with you. Two of Pentacles is good because it's suggesting a stable, balanced energy, which generally means things have settled down. What is stopping this person from coming towards Pisces? So it says the Magician reverse. They don't see an opportunity or potential right now. Okay. Why not? What is the reason for that? It just says Seven of Swords. That doesn't really tell us much here. That can talk about planning or avoidance or something like that, but again, that doesn't tell me much. How does Pisces see this person? I don't know. How does Pisces see this person they're not talking with? So it says Hierophant reversed. Alright, that's a problem. So you may feel that this person lacks certain qualities that will align with you. In other words, that you've come to find out that there's just certain traits or qualities about them that just don't, I don't know, you might have an issue with. Like, okay, I don't know if they're ever going to change that, or maybe this is what they want or how they want to be, and I don't want to do that. I like to do this, and then they don't like to do that, or they have an issue with this, and I'm not going to change that. It could be like certain things where you just kind of, you're inflexible to. I mean, everybody, for the most part, can be flexible to certain things, but there's obviously things that you don't want to, I'm not going to change that. What can Pisces expect from this person that they're not talking with? Silence, potentially nothing right now. Alright, well. What does this person want from Pisces? So we got 5 of Cups. Why do they want that? 10 of Wands. What do they think is causing that? Queen of Cups reversed. Well, that's a bit of a problem. So, here's my final opinion on this Pisces. Alright. This is a person that, as I said to you earlier, it seems like there was something that... It was probably a situation that worked out for a period of time. And it's obviously like most situations would. The highest suggestion in this reading is that there was some sort of loss in values or priorities. In other words, as you got to know them, as you kind of had a connection with them, you started to realize that there were traits or qualities or things that this person did, or maybe it was just mutual, that both of you found things about each other that you didn't quite synergize with, and it started to become a bit of a frustration. It's a possibility, as I said, for some of you, this could have been just mild bickering, quarreling, or disagreements, or just kind of little issues with those things, or it was, for some of you, a lot of quarreling, or it became frequent arguing or getting into little fights over stuff like that. Why do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. All right, it seems like something like that went on. All right, this person still feels, is in their feelings, is kind of getting the sense that maybe this is something that's done and over with. All right. It does kind of suggest they still think a lot about it. It also suggests that they still want to come towards you, all right, but they don't see an opportunity to do so, all right. It's still not really super clear on why that is for the tarot. This person does see you as doing okay. You're doing fine, all right. What you can expect from them is silence, it suggests, all right. Why? It comes back to this person doesn't see a means to, I guess, make this work right now. It already shows in the past there wasn't a solution to that either. Alright. What this person wants is that they don't want things to be difficult anymore, and they would, I guess, if there was some type of like emotional, I don't know, I don't want to say it's lost, but like it's kind of saying like they see this situation as a bit of like a goner. Alright. I don't think this person wants that, but the problem is they're seeing that your heart is pretty much shut off by the Queen of Cups reversed here, so they're seeing it as like kind of like an impossible. It's one of those situations where if somebody doesn't care anymore, or you're kind of closed romantically, then probably isn't anything you can do. All right. This person's more interested in when you're loving and caring and stuff like that. Again, a lot of you, I've done tarot for years, will probably say, well, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore because of this reason or that reason. All right, fair enough. But, that's just what it's saying there. All right, so translation, this person just wants things to be easier. Like, you would be more open, more receptive. You're just kind of like not going to give them any issues or anything like that. All right, but there could be trust problems. Maybe you just don't trust this person anymore. That's why you're kind of closed off to them. I don't know. All right, there's obviously a reason why separated a while back, but anyways, what do I think is going to overall happen? I don't think there's going to be much, unfortunately. All right, what could probably change this situation? This is my last card, and I'm done. We have Justice here. It showed up. Who knows? Said coming out of heartbreak or pain. It does point or suggest that there was some sort of something for some of you that happened that could have really soured the situation. Maybe it was just the way they acted when they left, or how you both acted, or you just didn't like the breakup. Maybe you're pissed off at them for doing something or choosing some other person. I don't know. All right, it could be a multitude of things. But whatever the case is, it's suggesting there's some type of like bad emotional tension towards this person, or for some of you it could be very mild, and for others of you it's more. All right, but it's enough of something that would keep your heart kind of a little closed off to this person. In other words, if they were to come back around, you wouldn't just be wearing your heart in a sleeve. You'd be like, you're really going to have to try to get me to open up type thing. All right? And for others of you, it may not even be like you're just trying to guard your heart. You just don't care. Like you just lost that kind of spark towards them. I'm not sure. All right? There's some type of, like I said, disappointment that's clouding the situation, and it's saying if that doesn't get resolved, then it won't get worked out in some ways. But if it does, who knows? I'm done, Pisces. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of that. I don't know who that applies to. Hopefully one or two of you or the whole lot of you. But I'm out. Appreciate you guys watching. If you got something out of that, please leave a like. I would very much appreciate it. And so would the algorithm. Alright. Yep, I got all the signs. I'm done. Alright, bye everyone. Thanks for watching.